And we are back with another episode on Across the Board. It is Thursday evening. As always, got to talk about the weather. It's pretty nice outside. Really nice
It
weather. It's
is.
fun to be outside, and I'm not freezing. It's not hot. It's right where it needs to be. So, to say the least, I'm very pleased with the weather. I don't know about you though, Jaden.
I am. It's not too bad. It was like 64 today up here.
So, did you play well in the 64-degree weather?
It did. Well, I played all
Wh-
right. I mean, I guess not really good, but I played all right.
What did we shoot?
72.
Even?
One over.
Not too bad though. Not too shabby. That's pretty good
Could have been
golf.
better.
Always can be better. But with that being said, today's episode, not a long one, but we got a couple of things to talk about. Of course, going to recap this week's Super Bowl. Not going to lie, kind of boring. But still, it was a Super Bowl. We got college baseball, first time covering that on the podcast. And then some breaking news from the college football world, which we will get to when we get there. With that being said, let's go and hop into the Super Bowl. Um, my initial thoughts, can't say I didn't expect this. Um, Seattle defensively was outstanding and dominant. This New England offensive line, well, Will Campbell as well, struggled to protect Drake May.
Indeed.
As did you see the I guess you call it the meme they came out with of like it was him quoting "I will fight and die to protect my quarterback," and then the next picture is him in a casket. I have to say,
Yeah, yeah, he didn't do too hot.
but to say the least, he is his rookie season, so I think
It
we can
is.
kind of cut the man some slack. I just thought it was funny that happened. Um, Drake May actually started with Sam Darnold this game. Outstanding! What a season he had. He was 19 for 38 in this game. Had
Hmm.
202 passing yards with a passing TD. Kenneth Walker was outstanding. Uh,
He won
27.
them. He won them the game.
He
I
did
mean,
27 for 135. I think you're wrong with that. Jason Myers won in the game.
well, true, but
I think that guy should have won MVP,
sure.
but that's just a personal thought.
I think the right person won it.
Yeah, for sure. Um, but you look at the New England side. I think offensively, Seattle did what they needed to do. Um,
Hmm.
if you look at New England on the offensive side of things, though, uh, Drake May 27 for 43, 295, two touchdowns, two ints. The two touchdowns kind of came in waste time or garbage time, really. Uh, I mean, he didn't play well. This ground game didn't get going at all. Ramondre Stevenson was 7 for 23. Travion Henderson was 6 for 19. Um, but this defense played outstanding. Uh, they kept them in this game, and that was kind of the key going into this. Is if can this New England defense keep it within reach for Seattle, or excuse me, keep it in reach for this New England offense. But this New England offense was stagnant for what felt like this
Yeah.
entire game.
Yeah. I mean, both weren't too great for quite a while. Um, I mean, luckily we actually got a score out of somebody. Um, I just I don't know. It was ugly to watch for quite a while, and sorry, I was having trouble. Something started playing on my computer, and it just was in my ear. um,
Oh, bro.
um, it was an ad of on some. I think it was on ESPN. Um, yeah, this game was kind of boring to watch for the first like half. And man, both offenses couldn't do anything for the first half. Obviously, New England didn't score a single point, and Seattle only scored 9. And 9-0 at half for Super Bowl is No, not great. We knew that there was a possibility that this game was going to be like this, that they were going to just kind of, it was just going to be a defensive battle, and we, man, I don't know. I thought Seattle could get it together. They obviously had their drives. They got into scoring position, and then they just, I mean, the New England defense played really good. Um, but then, I mean, they did what they needed to do and stopped them to field goals. And then you get on the offensive side of the ball, and man, I don't know. I started to wonder if that question, what a week, well, the week before, um, of whether or not Drake May had an injury to his shoulder in the AFC Championship game, if that was actually true, because he looked like a shell of himself in this game. I mean, he threw 43 passes, obviously, since they were down by so much, but he missed a lot of throws that I hadn't seen Drake May miss all year. There were some wide open passes that he just threw horrendous balls to, and I don't know. I had told myself that I wouldn't have been surprised if somebody came out and say that he had an injury, because it didn't look right. He underthrew a lot of those deep balls he threw, which was the thing that he did not do all season. He was the best deep ball thrower in the league, and man, I think every single time he threw a deep ball, it was like throwing up. I mean, it was basically like he just tossed it up in the air, and you were just hoping that his guy caught it. Like it was underthrown 9 times out of 10, and it was not any good. So I don't know what it was, but yeah, he couldn't get going, and then the rest of the offense, because of that, couldn't get going. Like you said, his offensive line wasn't great. We knew that was going to be an issue coming into this game because Seattle's just their defense is so dominant. They showed that. I mean, they showed that there's a reason why they were the best defense in the league, a reason why they got to this point. And we knew that New England had played arguably three of the best defenses coming into this game
I th-
in the
I think
playoff.
I think they played all top five defenses going into this game,
Yeah,
and
and we thought
when
that
this was
maybe
the
that
top
would
five.
help them. Yeah, we thought that maybe that would help them. They've seen what these defenses can do. They've won those games. They were close. We knew that if they wanted to win this game, it would have to be close. And they did that. They just, I mean, I heard the announcers say that they were playing the same type of ball they were playing in the snow in the AFC Championship game. Like that's legitimately what their offense looked like. It looked like the same offense that played in that blizzard in Denver, and it's it's not snowing in San Francisco. Like there was nothing to stop them from moving the ball, and they just, I mean, I don't know, man. Their offensive line sucked. Drake May got pressured almost every single time. It was just, it was bad. Running game couldn't get going. Nothing. And this was worst case scenario for the Patriots. I mean, they have the guys. We said that they had the guys. They had all the superstars, all the playmakers in the world to win this game. There's a reason why they got to the Super Bowl. They were a good team. And I know people are going to argue, yeah, they had a cupcake schedule and they got here. You can't get to the Super Bowl with a cupcake schedule just by playing a cupcake schedule. You got to go through 3 teams in the playoffs, and I know Denver didn't have. Um, Obviously, they didn't have Bo Nix, but who knows? I know people say, well, Bo Nix should have been there. Who knows? Maybe Bo Nix would have played, and they still, Patriots still won the game. But we'll never know. They played Denver without them. They won. They played the Texans without them. They won. I mean, you can't really you can't really disagree that the Patriots still had to play. What is it? 20 games to get here, and I mean, they were the best team to get here. Like they don't just, it's not just because they might have had an easy schedule. I saw a thing just yesterday, I think, or maybe it was even today, that somebody was comparing one of some analyst at the beginning of the year before obviously before any of the games were played, looking at the Patriots' schedule and saying what they would go, and they said they would go like 7-10, or not even. It was probably less than that, and the caption was, and this is the cupcake schedule that y'all thought would just get the Patriots, to the Super Bowl. Like you picked them to win 7 games. You thought the schedule was difficult for them, and they ended up getting to the Super Bowl. Like I don't really agree with that. I don't think you can win play 20 games and win as many as they did and get to the Super Bowl just by it being as simple as, oh, you had a cupcake schedule.
Yeah,
Um,
well,
but we'll never really know what
well,
would have happened if Bo Nix were to play, or
I
they had a
want
different
to
schedule or anything.
I want to interject on that point and just say this, and I feel like anybody would agree with this. In my mind, the best team always find ways to win games. So
True.
they do. I mean, and it's like again, we can again, like you talked about. I mean, they were projected to go 7-10 this season. Defied those odds. They won 7 more games. They made it this far. I mean, you can't hate on them for being a good team. They did what they needed to do.
No.
They did exactly what they needed to get there. Didn't have their best in the Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, they made their way there because they were a good team.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen what they call great teams get to the Super Bowl and they don't do anything. I mean, think about the Rams when they played the Patriots, and that team did absolutely nothing. And I know people didn't think they deserved to be there. Me being a Saints fan, probably shouldn't have been there. PI. But um them saying they didn't deserve to be there, but they were the best team. They were the team that did get there, and people thought they would be competitive with the Patriots, and they didn't even. Did they even score a touchdown in the game? I think they might have scored one late, um, or maybe they didn't at all. But again, they got blown out. I mean, like we see teams that people think deserve to get there, and they play bad. So just because a team gets there and doesn't play good doesn't mean that they didn't deserve to be there. They were the ones that got there. They won the 17 games they won this year, in total, with playoffs to get there. I mean, it doesn't just happen just because. And it's obviously disappointing for New England. Uh, Either way, they were going to set a record for the Super Bowl. They were going to set it with the most wins, or they're going to set it with the most losses. And well, now they hold the record for the most losses in the Super Bowl. Don't know if that's something proud to be, an owner of, but at the same time, you've gotten there enough to lose them. So I guess maybe you should be proud of it. I don't know.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, it was a disappointment for New England. It just they had nothing. They were a shell of themselves. Their offense, like we had said last week before the Super Bowl, their offense had only, I mean, on paper, it only looked like it got worse through, every game from the end of the season to now, and we didn't really know if they were gonna just all of a sudden show up or not. And well, they didn't. And this is what, we expected, that if they didn't show up, this is what we expected would happen.
for sure. And again, Seattle, dominant performance. Sam Darnold, great to see him there. New England didn't have their best, but good on them for making it here, especially with the odds. It was looking like at the beginning of the season. With that being said, though, let's jump into our next segment, college baseball. We have not talked college baseball this year. I believe it starts tomorrow.
It does
Am I correct?
indeed. It does indeed.
I'm excited.
All top 25 teams play tomorrow.
Mhm.
Start a series tomorrow, obviously.
Yeah,
That's how baseball works. You play
yeah,
series Friday through Sunday. Um, so we got a lot of them
yeah.
all
So,
over the United States of America,
so
and down in Puerto Rico.
I want to give the top 25. This is top 25 I have. I think ours might be different, but this is the one top 25 list I've seen of late.
Well, did you just look up the top 25?
This is a different one you had sent me, but this was from a little bit back.
No. Well, just go to NCAA and go to the top 25. Um,
Uh,
UCLA is number one preseason team. Uh, I
They
meant No,
They
no surprise there. They got everybody. They pretty much got everybody back from last year, and the guys that they did lose, they replaced with great transfers. They have arguably the best player in the nation, um, in Roach at, I believe he plays. I honestly, I don't even know if I want to guess. I think he plays shortstop. I could be wrong, and I could look like an absolute idiot. Um, and for some reason, I am like forgetting his name, his last name. Baseball player. Um, I don't know. I can't think of it. He's supposed to be the number one draft pick, though.
it's a
In the NOA
shortstop.
draft. Yes. Okay.
This was supposed to be good
Um,
at shortstop class this year.
Roach Chalowski. That's his name, or Roch Chalowski. However you pronounce his first name there. But yes, he is predicted to be the number one draft pick in the uh, MLB draft this upcoming year. No wonder they're on top. They've got great pitchers. Bullpen's great. They've got great hitters. Again, they replaced anybody they lost, and they didn't lose that many people. Um, LSU is at 2. Obviously, won last year, hoping to go back
Uh,
to back for the first time since South Carolina did.
music to my
And
ears. You know, it feels really good being. It feels good being good at a sport. You know, as an LSU
you know
fan,
what? Honestly, man, you haven't been able to say that this year, and so I'll let you say that. I'll let you say
I
that.
this is my moment. Unless you know the good old women's basketball team comes in clutch.
Well, they're
Kim
always good.
Mulkey with the outfit.
They're always good.
I'm excited. Jay Johnson has done an incredible job at LSU. I expect the bullpen. I expect
Y'all did
a
lose some big
lot.
names, though. I mean, it's what's going to happen when you have a great team like that. But you did lose a
The,
lot of big names.
draft and a lot of other things. But again, I'm excited for the season. I know Jay Johnson brought in a good class. Uh, again, high expectations for this team and high expectations. Expect to go back to back.
Yeah. Y'all still have Kason Evans, right? That's
I believe
y'all's
so.
top guy in the pen for y'all. Um,
So yes,
yeah, he's. I've seen him be projected to be. Well, I have seen him people project him to be pitcher of the year. Um, but yeah, y'all will be really good, more than likely, unless something just drastically falls off the map. So y'all come in at 2. Texas is at 3. They didn't have the greatest of years last year, but they uh, they're
they weren't
Texas.
bad, weren't
They weren't
terrible.
bad. Yeah. Um, no reason why they can't be amazing this year. There's a reason why they're preseason ranked number 3. They obviously got beat last year in the regionals by UTSA. Great team. Um, that was fun to watch. But come here. Then Mississippi State at 4. Probably gonna be surprising to most people. They didn't have the greatest season last year. They went 36-23, and they ended the season unranked. Um, obviously didn't make the regionals, nothing like that. They had a obviously first year head coach from last year. Well, sorry, they got rid of their coach from last year, right? I believe so. They have what's his name? I literally knew his name about 5 hours ago, and I've forgotten everything. Um, Either way, they're supposed to. They've obviously rebuilt with the roster that they had last year. They've gotten better. Um, yeah, Chris Lemonis was their head coach. He got fired. He had led them to the national championship a few years ago, and then after 3 bad years and nothing good coming out of it, they fired him, and they bring in Brian O'Connor. Did know that one. They bring in Brian O'Connor. He was at Virginia, great coach. He led them to great success. And so they're bringing him in. The reason why they think this team will be great is because of the fact that Brian O'Connor is coming in. and your Mississippi State. Your baseball program is amazing. It's one of the top programs in the nation. You're going to get guys, and they have their class coming in is great. Their transfer portal class was amazing. He's brought in his guys that he knows are going to work for him. So people expect a lot from them. And then Georgia Tech at 5, another really, really volatile team for this year. They looked up and down last year at some points. They had a pretty good season though. This year, though, they have probably a better chance, even better of a chance to host a regional for sure. Get to a super
That
regional.
they have not been to a super since 2006.
Believe so. I believe that is true. I would not be surprised if they got there this year. They have Drew Burress, and he's the top 5 pick in the MLB draft. Arguably the best player in the nation as well, with Roch at UCLA. Man, I again, like I said, I would be surprised if they made it to a super regional. They're going to host a regional. They're probably going to win the ACC if I had to guess. Unless something drastic happens, again, it could change easily. It's college baseball. But yeah, they look like they could be a really good team this year. The number 2 team from last year, Coastal Carolina, comes in at 6. I'm just going to go down the list here. Arkansas at 7, Louisville at 8, Auburn at 9, TCU at 10. Those are your top 10. Again, any of those teams are great. I mean, all the teams can be amazing this year. Expect a lot from them. To round out the top 25, we'll go quick here. North Carolina, 11. Oregon State, 12. Florida at 13. Tennessee at 14. Georgia at 15. I've seen them ranked. People rank them as high as like 4. So really up and down on where people might place them. Florida State at 16. NC State at 17. Kentucky at 18. Clemson 19. Southern Miss at 20. Wake Forest at 21. Miami at 22, Vandy at 23, Arizona at 24, and Texas A&M rounding out the 25th spot. They need a bounce back year. Obviously, first-year head coach last year did not do too great. Not the Texas A&M, and a lot of injuries, but not the Texas A&M team that we saw 2 years ago. And they are looking to get back to that level of baseball. But that is your top 25. All of them play tomorrow. A ton of people play tomorrow. There's a lot of games out there starting from 8:30 a.m. in Puerto Rico with Houston and Wake Forest, all the way to like 10 o'clock at night. I mean,
I'll be watching some LSU and UNLV baseball tomorrow.
UNLV plays Austin Peay. They play a late one at like 8:05. And then LSU plays.
I believe we have. It was
who do you play?
Milwaukee.
Yes,
it was
that's it.
Milwaukee.
That is it. There were a few series this week that are kind of intriguing. Obviously, the most intriguing one of this weekend is Vandy TCU. Top 25 ranked teams. Both teams are amazing. Vandy, again, I think if you know college baseball, you know Vandy is amazing. TCU, a lot of people have picked them to be the Big 12 winner this year. So, great series to start off. Ranked number 23 and 10 in a first weekend series for college baseball. It happens every year, at least one of these. But if you want to go watch a ranked matchup early in the season, start of the year, go watch that one. Should be great. Another interesting matchup, Fairfield plays Coastal Carolina in a series this weekend. They played last year in the regionals. They were in the same regional, obviously in the Coastal Carolina regional. And they had some great games. So that's going to be a fun series to watch. Also is Wright State and Georgia. 2 teams that made the regionals last year as well. Wright State played in the Louisville regional. They did lose And then Georgia obviously played in the Athens in their own. They hosted a regional. They got beat by Duke last year. Let's see. There's a couple of other ones that I thought were pretty interesting. Let's see if I can find them. Michigan does play Oregon State. Michigan's not too much of a. I've seen up and down rankings on them of how good they could be this year, how not so great they could be this year. An interesting one for one team who made the regionals last year in Binghamton. They play Dallas Baptist in a series this year. Dallas Baptist, DBU, did not have a great season last year. Usually one of the top baseball teams in the nation. They didn't have their best season last year. They're looking to bounce back and have a really great season, and everything points to them being able to be really good. So that will be an interesting series to see, well, if they're legit this year. One other one, UC Santa Barbara, Southern Miss. That's a really intriguing series because UC Santa Barbara has been picked by many to win the Big West, and obviously Southern Miss, Sun Belt champions, more than likely. They were great last year. They will reload and have another great season. But UC Santa Barbara is a volatile team, especially for Southern Miss. And I wouldn't even be surprised. Maybe this is an early call, but I wouldn't even be surprised if you saw Santa Barbara win this series and Southern Miss starts off with a losing series. I wouldn't be. They they've gotten players in. They've rebounded from last year, and they weren't bad last year. They have every reason to be probably the best team in the Big West, only behind maybe or compete with like UC Irvine for that top spot. Another team though over there in the Big West as well. Cal Poly plays Campbell. Interesting matchup just because of the fact that Campbell's usually pretty decent, and Cal Poly was great last year. They went insanely hot in the Big West tournament last year and beat a lot of teams that they probably shouldn't have, but they did, and that helped them out. So coming off a great end of the season last year, and they made it to the regional in Eugene, where they did win a couple games, but ended up obviously Arizona winning that regional. So coming off a great season, they can easily get back to what they were and get a good series win to start off the year. I think there was one more. I'm trying to find it. Florida does play UAB this week. I do know that one. South Carolina Upstate, they play South Alabama. They made it to a regional last year. Upstate made it to a regional last year, not South Alabama. They were in that Clemson regional where West Virginia came out on top. UC San Diego plays UCLA. Just wanted to shout out the number one team there and who they play. See if they really are the number one team. I could imagine so. And then Cal State Fullerton, I've seen a lot of guys post that they could have a great season this year. They kind of had like a more of a rebuilding year last year. They had a lot of young guys. They didn't have the greatest of seasons, but they were better than what most people thought in the Cal State just community. And so we'll see if they really can be good this year. Baseball is amazing when Cal State Fullerton is great. They play California Baptist or CBU this weekend in a series. But there's another team I wanted to shout out. Obviously, again, all top 25 teams play. They'll play a ton of different teams. Go watch any of them. They're all gonna be great. College baseball is great to watch, even if you don't know anything about it. It's still fun to watch. And come College World Series time, you're gonna want to hope that you know just a little tad bit about it and have watched some of it because it's one of the most interesting things to watch. It's probably my favorite behind March Madness, honestly.
And college
I mean,
softball.
like I love college football, but like you don't. The only thing about college football, you don't see Utah Valley, beating Oregon, or you don't see who was it last year? Who did you? Why can't I not think about who almost beat y'all last year?
It was Little Rock. They were like 8 and
Little Rock. That's it. That's it. Yeah, you don't see Little Rock almost beating LSU, like, or should probably
they
beat
were. I
LSU.
think they were like 28 and 33 entering that stretch. Man, that was insane.
They were a losing team.
They were. They were 28 and 23
Yeah,
the record.
yeah. By the way, I think I said DBU missed the regional last year. That's not what I meant. They played in y'all's regional. I don't know why I
They
said
did.
that. I might not have said that. But they didn't
Hey,
have the best season for them. They were looking to rebound.
hey, and college softball, man. That's always. I think.
Yeah,
You know why? You know why college softball is so fun? Because the same pitcher can go over and over again. Like it's.
that is true.
I think that's one of the more like interesting parts about it. Like I
Mm.
think I want to like LSU two
The
years
only thing
ago.
about that is that you don't see a ton of uh, volatility in teams because of the fact that their ace can pitch, you know, 3 days in a row and win them a series late in the year when obviously you get to college baseball and you're not seeing Kason Evans or Liam Peterson or, anybody throwing 3 games in a row. So
Mhm.
but it is interesting to watch for sure. I watch college softball every once in a while, but there's so many things on at this time of the year that
We've got busy schedules, man. We got a lot of watching sports to do. We got softball, baseball, basketball, hockey.
I know,
It's it's insane.
I know. It's
It's
a great time
insane.
of year though.
It
Great,
is.
perfect time of year. And
It is.
I mean, I will be. It's just, like it's hard to watch all the games. Obviously, Florida plays baseball tomorrow. I'll watch them play tomorrow. Then they play a game on Saturday. They play Kentucky in basketball. That's a huge game, but they're also playing baseball at the same time. And then they'll play baseball on Sunday. And then at the same time, the Pebble Beach Pro Am is on. The Olympics is on. Softball's on.
It's a lot of fun stuff, and it's a lot of
Yeah.
greatness there. I do want to get to our last segment, um, and more just the big news from today. Trinidad Chambliss was granted his 6 year of eligibility by a Mississippi court judge. Um,
Yeah. Not
Interesting.
surprising to say the least. I know most people. I think they were expecting this to happen. I know he had been denied once, what, maybe twice. Um, it was going to happen eventually. All he had to do was find the right court, and not surprisingly, he did find the right court because guess what? The judge is a Ole Miss graduate.
See, that's what I was about to say. I saw the news. I saw the news come out, and I could only think to myself, "Got to be an Ole Miss judge. Got to be somewhat associated with Ole Miss."
Well, that's all you do. You just you go to somebody that knows what, like is an old, is in Mississippi, and he's going to give you a chance to come back. That's what. I, well, but it begs the question though. They made the Alabama judge that let Charles Bediako get back. They made him go away from that court hearing, and so could the NCAA do that again? I don't know if they're football is the only problem here is the fact that it is football, and as much as I don't like college basketball is such a big deal to a lot of teams, but college football is on like a whole different level of what
Well, yeah.
NCAA can
Well,
do or not because they
yeah.
just don't want to mess with it.
Well, I think a kind of a difference as well, and I guess depending on how you see it. I mean, the difference here is you got an actual pro player on the basketball side playing
No,
college.
yeah, no. I
Like
just meant the
it's
fact that it was somebody who's graduated. They gave him a 6 year, but
yeah,
they have
but
granted
that's
him a 6 year,
but hey,
and
that was big news. Uh, Great stuff there. Is there anything?
they might have one of the best quarterback rooms in the nation now. Trinidad and Deuce Knight.
Hey
Just
man,
just putting it out there. I mean, we saw what Deuce can do. I saw it in person what he can do. He's a dog. And then
hey
for
man.
him to be behind Trinidad, And Trinidad's great. I mean,
Yeah, I mean the
I mean,
sky's the limit there. Um,
yeah.
with that being said, is there anything you want to add? Anything, any news of yours or anything?
Um, yeah, actually, I wanted to shout out the medal count in the Olympics
I gotta give a shout out
right
too.
now.
After your,
Um,
actually, I'll give my shout out now. Shout out Team
Go ahead.
USA, 5-1
Mhm.
dub over Latvia today. Absolute
See
dogs.
that?
Brock Nelson, he's the dude. Brady Kachuk, dude. I mean, we are just the dudes. Also, Edmonton, um, gonna give you a shout out. Italy's goalie. You know, if you're looking for a new one, I mean, hey man, guy can play. I just think it was funny. 60 shots on goal, insanity. But hey, Edmonton, eyes open. Italy's goalie's there. He's waiting for that contract. Just hand him the papers and let him sign. That's all I need to say. Floor
Yeah.
is yours.
Well, just saw that Chloe Kim placed second in snowboarding. Uh, Disappointing for her because she was the obviously favorite to win the gold medal. Um, but did want to shout out medal count so far. The United States is in third with 4 gold medals. If you don't know how the Olympics medal count works, it goes based off gold medals, not full total number of medals. They are secondly in second if you were to go off of that. They have 14. They have 4 golds, only behind Italy's 6th and Norway's 7th. Not much of a surprise there. Norway is, they have the most medals ever. All time Olympics, Winter Olympics, they have the most. Again, not surprising. They're going to be that way. Italy, on the other hand, is a little bit of a surprise right now, but they've been doing really good in most of their competitions. And USA, man, they have fallen short barely in a couple of competitions that they just got beat Italy. They just got beat by Italy last night in the um, figure skating, the team, men's and women's figure skating, and man, they barely got beat. Italy, flawless performance by them. But again, they have United States has 4 golds, 7 silvers, and 3 bronzes for a total of 14 right now. We are only a week, I think, on the dot. Start tomorrow, a week, so halfway through the Winter Olympics, and yeah, I mean, not so too much surprising. There's gonna be a ton still to go. Obviously, there's a million events still going on. Um, did want to shout out the curling team. I know the mixed doubles curling team. They did play silver. They got beat by Sweden's people. Disappointing, but the Isabella Warana, the yeah, the woman on Sweden was absolutely like perfect. She only missed like 1 throw, and I don't even. That's like almost impossible. She was 97% accuracy. I mean, insane. Can't really beat that. But again, go watch the Olympics. There's a ton on. Obviously, there's on right now. There's on all
All
night,
I'm saying is
morning,
this:
day,
I would
everything.
love for a United States and Canada rematch in this Olympics. Okay,
Yeah,
from the four nations.
yeah.
Here's the scary thing about Canada, man.
Only, only disappointing thing is they can't fight in the Olympics.
Yeah, man, that's some bullshit. Hey,
It's
listen,
always been that way. It's been a
but
rule
in the
since the
but in the
start of the
four
Olympics.
nations, that was elite. Freaking Sam Bennett, Brady, and Matthew Kachuk just absolutely throwing fists, throwing haymakers like funny.
I know. A lot of people
Who
aren't
doesn't
happy
like
about
that?
that, but people's got to realize this has been a rule forever. This isn't something just new. It's been a rule forever. It's always been that way. They don't want people doing that. Just,
Connor
more of a
Connor
mistake on
Hell
their part.
I'm just gonna say this. Connor Hellebuck is gonna be a unit in net for United States. The scariest thing about Team Canada is Olympic and playoff Jordan Bennington. That dude's been garbage in the regular season, but he got a shutout. He got himself a shutout yesterday. Okay. Nothing is more scarier than playoff or Olympic Jordan Bennington. That's all I need to say.
We'll see. We'll see. The women's team beat Canada the other night 5-0,
Oh, say,
and
can you see?
that was hmm. They were still in round robin play. I don't know if they're still in round robin play
They're
right now.
they're
I
playing
believe they might
tomorrow.
be.
They're in the playoffs. They're playing Italy at
Okay.
2:10.
Okay.
So Sweden
I
and
was thinking that
Czechia.
they ended yesterday and they were going
Yeah,
to play
check.
tomorrow, but
So for the women's in the playoffs quarterfinal, Czechia
mhm.
and Sweden play at 9:40, and then Italy and the US play at 2:10 tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously United States plays early in the morning. The men's. Um,
They don't play tomorrow morning. Uh,
oh,
Tomorrow,
they
Slovakia and
don't?
Italy. No, Slovakia and Italy play at 5:10. Czechia and France are
Uh,
at 9. Oh, sorry. Sweden and Finland are at 5:10 as well. So Slovakia, Italy at 5:10.
mhm.
Sweden, Finland at 5:10. Then you have Czechia, France at 9:40, and then Switzerland, Canada at 2:10.
So United States does not play tomorrow?
No, they'll play Saturday, and they have Denmark at
Okay.
2:10.
Okay.
So
Maybe that's what I saw. Um, but obviously you're going to be watching that.
you know I will.
Big news there. Yeah, I know you will. Don't worry. I know you will. Upon with all the other things, you'll be watching. That'll
I
be
watch.
that'll be one of
Yep.
them.
Hey, shout out to his Satsune 10 under
Yeah, no. You
62.
you you butchered that name. Pretty sure it's
Enlighten
just
me.
Satsune. Um,
It's
but
Sunni.
again, he did play
No,
great.
it's an E. Knee on the broadcast.
No, it's a
Yes, it
nay.
is. It's an E.
Is it not a nay?
It's an E.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. That's how they sound on the broadcast, buddy.
I don't know about that. I don't believe it, but maybe so. They could be
Hey, 10,
butchering his name as well, so who knows?
we could all be butchering his name.
Yeah,
Hey,
we could be butchering it. That's yeah.
leave me alone. 5'10", or not dadgummit, 10 under, fired off a low round.
5'10"? Is that his height?
That's probably your height, buddy. Okay.
Okay. That is not my height, but okay. Got it. Um, yeah, he played
Anyway,
great.
he
We'll
did.
see if he can hold on to that. Up is off to another hot start. That'll be
Let's,
interesting to watch. Maybe he's
let's
going to
go.
be the Scotty for this year.
Let's go, Rosie. Come back. Come back, kid.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Scotty's going to have to make a move. A
but
big
with that
move.
being said, that's going to wrap up today's show.
I
Um,
think so.
Thank you for tuning in with us. If you want to go check out
Yeah.
some clips from our other podcasts or go check them out, how do you do that, you may ask? Well, that's quite simple. Go to Spotify,
Yep.
Amazon Music, YouTube. If you want some short clips, go to YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok. You've got a Threads account. Even
Again,
though
I don't know if we post on there, but
maybe
maybe we need to find that out.
we'll take a little
um,
look.
yeah, this episode was pretty short, so you can watch this one. And if you didn't catch up on Mondays with just myself, um, go watch it. We're talking
Or
a lot of college basketball.
and not even and go check out the WM and our Pebble Beach preview. Pebble Beach preview, Waste Management
Do
recap.
that as
That's
well.
a great video. So go check that out.
Yeah.
With that being said, that's going to do for tonight. Thank you all for showing up. Give us a follow, like, subscribe, show some support. And until then, we will see y'all on Monday.
Yeah. We'll see you on Monday.